my name is Vic, and I'm going to be the one interviewing you on behalf of Ultraviolet Magazine today. How are you guys doing?
Super good. How are
Super
you?
good.
That's awesome. Can you guys all introduce yourselves and throw us a fun fact about yourself that nobody really knows about you, and it could be anything?
My name is Jules. I am in the Pretty Wylde. And a fun fact, I guess it's that, I mean, you kind of saw it a little bit, that I just got a little tiny terror kitten named Grim.
That's so cute, Grim. Grim is such a cute name.
Yeah, she's a sphinx, so she's completely hairless because I'm allergic to cats. So it's a whole new world for me.
Oh,
Nice.
that's
so fucking cute.
super cute.
That's adorable.
Do you want me to go?
Yeah.
All right. The second most interesting.
What
the second most interesting person in Deadlands. What's up? I'm CJ. I play guitar and produce for Deadlands. I don't know. The fun fact is like I am the pickiest eater in the entire world, and Kasey makes fun because I eat like no cheese, and Kasey
Really?
cheese. Yeah, right. See?
Okay, but you're only the pickiest eater because you have ARPid.
Yeah, I do have ARPid.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which is literally it's just picky eater syndrome, but yeah.
Yeah.
I eat like no cheese, and everyone thinks it's the craziest thing ever. But
It is crazy up until you hear that you have ARPid, so that makes sense.
Yeah. My name is Kasey Karlsen, and I sing in Deadlands. And a fun fact about me is that I'm addicted to buying Fortnite skins.
Wow.
I think that's
fact.
That's definitely a very fun fact.
Yeah, I mean, I can't stop, guys. I really can't. I'm sorry.
That's so relatable.
Oh! Grim!
Oh my
I told you, she's being terrible today.
He just wants to be in the interview.
Yeah.
So badly.
He wants his 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
Okay. So, now that we have the little appearance from the kitty, let's jump into our discussion about Kundalini, which I just want to say congrats on that song because the track is incredible. For like the first month, like this entire month that it's been released, I've had it on repeat. At least once a day, I listen to it. So, it's
Thank you.
it's an absolutely incredible track. And so would you guys be able to discuss on how Deadlands and the Pretty Wylde came across each other?
Yeah, dude. I mean, Jules, unless you want to take this one, I could probably answer it. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kasey, you slid in the DMs. Isn't that how this happened?
Yes, correct.
Okay, I don't want to make up some fake lore about it, but I'm pretty
Oh, dude, I was like, y'all are sick as fuck. We gotta do something. And in my mind, I was like, oh, maybe they would do a cover with me or something. And then you guys were like, a track, and I was like, yes. And then
Hell yeah.
And it just kind of like happened to fall into place. And dude, it was like a match made in heaven. For real. And like, dude, I was playing all of the Pretty Wylde's discography for like, when did we discover them when we were on tour?
We were on tour. It was honestly like, it's probably getting close. It's well over like 6 to 8 months. It's like, it was probably getting close to like a year ago that like you found them.
No way. We found them in like, if we were on tour, it had to be like November.
Oh, I'll never forget because Kasey literally came into the hotel room. Like, it was like late at night, and she was like, CJ, you're not gonna fucking believe this shit that I just like found. Like, this is like the sickest band ever.
My eyes were watering. And I was like, oh shit.
I'm like, Kasey, like it's sleepy time right now. Like we need to get sleep. And she's like, no, you don't understand. Like, you need to listen to this band.
I was like, we need song.
Yeah. So she was totally right. Honestly, like working with the Pretty Wylde, you know, both Jules and Jill is like beyond a blessing. We could not be happier. The song was just incredible. So I don't know. We're over the moon about it.
Dude, yeah. I don't know if we're getting ahead of ourselves just yet, but like, so me and CJ just went to go get pizza, and in the car, I haven't listened to Button Eyes yet because I'm trying to react to it. I know we're going to talk about it later, but
Yeah.
CJ tried to put it on, and I was like, no, I need to react to it. He was like, this is one of the best written songs I've ever heard in modern metal. Like, in
it truly
the latest 3 years. Like,
yeah, no, I agree. We're gonna talk about Button Eyes a little bit later.
yeah,
but no, it's okay because I'm really excited to talk about that as well because Kasey, I think you're totally right. It's one of the best songs that's been written recently.
Thank you, guys.
Of course. That's really cute that you guys kind of just slid into each other's DMs. That's so awesome. Now, you guys just kind of answered my next question. It was why did you decide to do a collab with each other? And I just ended up seeing that you guys just thought you two were cool.
Well, honestly, I want to know why, Jules, why you guys, like, why did you decide yes? Like, what was it about little old Deadlands that...
I think we were like super, we've been in this like writing realm of things for the last, like, I guess really like 3 years. And I think we were in the studio when the conversation kind of came up because we knew we wanted to collab with someone, but we wanted to find the right fit and find our own sound and really define that first before we invited like more people into our world, you know, because it had been so secluded for so long. And it was like just, you know, Jill, me and Andrew were sitting talking about it. And I think Andrew was like, dude, this is a good fit. Like, let's make it happen. Like, we can make it work. Like, why don't they come in and like come down to Florida and like, let's do it. Like, you know, and do it for real and not just like a remote, you know, collaboration thing, which is more common, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But this is our first collaboration, really.
Dude, us too. Like,
That's
the
so
only other
awesome.
collaboration we had was like Misfit, our song Misfit, which was like a Five Nights at Freddy's thing. It was with Rocket Music. But like this dude, he had everything written, he had everything ready to go. He was like, hey man, can you just like do some vocals on this? I was like, yeah, fucking sure, because I love video games. Like, we just did it. And
I will definitely say, like, this is the most natural a collaboration has ever felt for me, like, for me at least, but I would say the band in general. But like, you know, we've been writing music forever, and as soon as we hopped in the studio, like, both you and Jill and Andrew as well, like, made it like so like easy. You guys are like incredible to work with, so I can only speak amazing things.
yeah, dude,
A lot of energy in the room.
That's
We
so
love
sweet.
it's fucking awesome.
That's awesome. That's so sweet. Like, aw, that's so cute. Now, actually, now that you guys talked about working in the studio together, that's really that must have changed a little bit of like how your thought process of determining song structure went. Can you like go into a little bit of detail about that?
Yeah, I think that was kind of interesting because we knew, I think from the get-go, we did a couple like Zoom calls before we actually all met up in the studio, and that's when Kasey kind of was sharing with us their whole album concept, and we knew that we wanted to take up sorry, cat eating a cake. We knew we wanted to take up this specific like deadly sin and like envy, and Kundalini kind of was like hatched, I think probably before we even got there, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. I know we started having like a collaborative note.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. I'll never forget the note that you guys made. Like, I still have it in my like iCloud notes. It's like this insanely fucking long, like, sorry I'm cursing so much, by the way. I don't know if like that's cool. But, it's like
it's totally fine. Don't
cool,
worry.
thank you. It's this insanely long note that, like, you know, the girls were collaborating on, just like spitballing these incredible ideas that like so perfectly conveyed the, you know, like the whole concept is about the deadly sin of envy. And like, if you could use like every sense of your body to describe envy, like, it was on that note. Like, it, like,
really,
it was insane. Yeah, it's, you should talk about it. Like,
Dude,
pull up the note.
I would love to hear about it.
She was long. I remember that.
He was so long. We and I know, like, for weeks before everything, like, we were really yeah, this is not okay.
There's visuals in it too.
Out the bottom, that's the top.
It's like, yeah,
wildly long. Like, there's a
shit.
photo of a tarot cards in here of like saying everything. Like we have like
Oh
5
my God.
commands. Yeah, like it coil, constrict, slither, hiss, poison, anything that could have to do with like snakes, toxicity, envy, you name it. Like it was in this damn note. And then like I remember when we started talking, they Jules and Jill were like, yeah, dude, like, you know, we've been really writing about like spiritual stuff and just our spiritual journey and seeing how that goes. And I was like, dude, that's fucking sick. Like, as much as I am not like a spiritual type person, like, first of all, it was so interesting to see like the thought process from Jill and Jules's perspective on what they think about in their spiritual journey. And I find that shit so fucking interesting. Like, I love the vibe of the tarot cards. I love the vibe of like a coven or anything along those lines. So it was just like I was so fucking on board, and it was just such a vibe. Love it.
That's amazing. I want to discuss later about the whole vibe and the spirituality aspect of Kundalini because of like what the word is, but we're going to discuss that just in a second. Let's jump back to the production experience and being in the studio together. What was that like? Just being able to see each other in person.
For me, I was like, this is the fucking sickest shit. Like when we first met Jill and Jules, oh my God, where did we first meet? In the studio? No, didn't you guys pick us up?
I picked Jill was already at the studio, and I left to come get you guys. And
Yes.
yeah, and I just remember you guys did like the most like metal thing of all time by like flying out and like having never met us and like crashing at our like house and shit. It was great.
Dude, I mean the fact that you fucking opened your house up to us was like insane and so fucking sweet, by the way. Like, I'm forever grateful. And going back to the production aspect of things, like when we first met, it was just so easy. Like, we all fucking sat down, we all knew that we had a job to do, and that was just to write a fucking envy banger that had some spiritual notes in it. Like, it felt so natural, and I say it all the time, but like Andrew Wade, working with him was so fucking awesome. I totally didn't even put it together that he did like so many of my favorite bands' records until like we were actually at the studio and I saw all that shit on the wall. I was like, oh fuck. But like when we were in there, like just vibing with Jules, vibing with Jill, vibing with Andrew, like it all just felt that it meshed so easy. And even for you, like what did you think?
Yeah, like as the person that does produce for Deadlands specifically, the privilege to work with someone like Andrew Wade is like beyond me.
I know you were so starved.
The minute I walked in the door, I apologized to him. And Jules, I don't know if you remember that. I literally said, I'm sorry, like I have to I have to at least like let this out before anything, but like you are like one of my idols. Like I was like, Andrew, like, you don't even understand. Like I watched your
Nail the Mix.
Yeah, your Nail the Mix.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I was like, you don't understand like what this is doing for me. So I learned so much from Andrew. His work ethic and his workflow is so admirable. I think that his vision for all the bands he works, like with, I think is just astronomical. And I really feel like it was a big privilege for, both me and Kasey to get to do that. And especially with the Pretty Wylde too. Like,
yeah, dude. Like,
match made in heaven.
I feel so honored to have fucking worked with you guys, like just in general, because you're just so fucking talented. Like, God, I love it. I'm sorry.
Can you tell that we're fans?
Like, I was gonna say, I love the fangirling that's going on.
Yes, dude. I'm telling you, I will fucking fangirl about the Pretty Wylde till the day I die, bitch. Like, I will die on this hill.
You and me both, Kasey. Oh my God.
You literally came down like, we're newer to the metalcore scene. We come from other genres and many years of playing as many different things, and so to be so welcomed right off the bat by you guys, who is a very credible, established touring band that has killer music out there. You guys are already on Octane, and it was really cool of you guys to come like take a chance on like a newer band like us. And that was exciting. And the fact that you were willing to come into like our home studio, as in like, localized, we don't live there. No, that we would never have a life if we did that. But the fact you're willing to come into like our home turf and put yourself out of the comfort zone and trust the song and in the process that we kind of have working over here, that was really cool of you guys.
Dude, our fucking
That's
pleasure,
so sweet.
bro. Our pleasure.
This is so sweet. This is so heartwarming, by the way. Just seeing you guys both get along so well and like fangirl over each other. It's very heartwarming to watch.
It would be even crazier if Jill was here too. Oh my god, it'd be like we would not stop. Like it'd be Yap Central, between all four of us.
Yap City.
I would say somewhere on a Spirit Airlines flight right now, Jill is probably like your three. She flies.
Oh, Miss Jill. Safe flights, Jill.
Yes, safe flight, Jill. Okay, I want to talk to you, Kasey, because Emily mentioned to me that, and this is her words, okay? She has mentioned to me that you are not the best at rapping, which I don't think is true at all. That you keep saying that you're not good at rapping. I don't think that that's true.
Well, thank you.
But what made you want to go like all Attila vibes and do the scream rap bit? And to add on, Jules, based on the music video, you took in the scream rapping part with Kasey. Why did you guys decide to do the little scream rap, and then Jules, why did you decide to like kind of collaborate with Kasey?
Dude, I mean, I think the reason why we wanted to do the scream rap, first of all, like if you have listened to the Pretty Wylde in any song, and I'm not talking about you, Vic, I'm talking about just audience, but like if you've listened to the Pretty Wylde in any song, you know that Jill is the rapper yapper of the fucking century, dude. So like as soon as I heard her rapping in Black Ops, which was the first song that I heard from them, I was like, holy shit. Like, and I've been wanting to rap for such a long fucking time. Like I would do covers and shit, and like I kind of suck at it. Like I'm nowhere near at the level that Jill is, but like I find it just fun. And then I think it was Andrew that put like the final, like, because I know that I recorded the screams by myself at home and just gave them everything, because I was like, just pick and choose what you want, like place anything anywhere, just shuffle me in, I don't care. And then I think Andrew, the producer, was the one that like really picked out the parts. But Jules, there was a second part to this question. I don't remember what it was.
It was just on what made you want to collaborate with Kasey, like on that part?
So it was kind of on accident. Like I'm the first to admit that we're newer to this genre, and so a lot of what Jill and I do in the studio is a lot of like self exploration on what we're capable of, and just trying to push boundaries and see what we're physically capable of. So what's really funny to me is that when we had written Kundalini, I hadn't done any harsh vocals on any of our tracks at all. Jill would do a lot of the rapping. I would do a lot more of the tighter, clean vocals that you'll hear more on like verses. And so Kundalini, after we wrote it, and everybody went home, and Andrew's like editing it, and I went back and I was like listening, and we had written a bunch more after it, and I was like, I can scream now. I can, and I want to like do a little bit of back and forth. And so I went into the studio and just cut some different chunks, and then Andrew kind of like amalgamated them together in a way that made it flow organically, so there'd be a lot more pass off between me and Kasey, especially on those tight rap screams, which by the way is going to make the live show a little bit easier too, and more exciting and interactive for fans. But yeah, so like I really hadn't really publicly been screaming until Sleepwalker was the first time I put anything like that on a track, and so I think Kundalini was second.
Dude, that's
awesome, because you guys. Oh, yeah, go ahead, Kasey.
No, I was just going to say, like, can I blow... I don't even know. You don't even understand, for any random listeners, like, it is so hard to scream, let alone scream rap. So the fact that was, like, the first fucking thing that you did apart from Sleepwalker is insane. Moving on. Sorry, I just had to get that out.
No, it's okay, because you are totally right. Like, screaming, from what I've heard, is super difficult. And you did amazing, because you guys sounded like one person. I remember the first time I listened to it, I couldn't distinguish which one was like who was who, and it was so cohesive and so well done that props to both of you, man, because that again, the song is just so well put together.
It was fun.
And yeah, your breath control must also be a huge thing when it comes to like screaming and rapping at the same time. Is it?
Definitely.
Yeah. I'm having to hit the Planet Fitness a lot more these days to try to gear up for live shows. I think you're telling me you like bring a treadmill to like band practice. Is that what you're saying, to get like the breath work to be able to do those screams and that like intensity on stage to be able to maintain that level?
Yeah, dude. I mean, luckily like we have our little practice space in my basement, so I have my treadmill like right outside of the room where everybody else is.
You should see how like
it's so ghetto.
Like in the best way possible. You should see how goofy it is. It's amazing. Man. But it's what we do. Like, I'm not even kidding you. When we go to practice, like, we set everything up, and then Kasey's like, all right, do you guys need anything? I'm going on the treadmill.
Yeah.
Put it on, though.
Yeah.
Fucking best thing.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. That's, oh my God, just, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense in my head because I don't do it, but it sounds like a lot of work, and clearly your work paid off, because that, again, I will fangirl about this track. I love this track so much.
Thank you.
I was doing my makeup earlier today for the interview, and this was just on repeat the entire time.
Oh, I love it. Thank you.
Okay, this is one thing that I was really interested in when I first saw your music video. What made you go for all the snake imagery and the green tones? I think now, having heard a little bit of what you guys said earlier, I know kind of the direction this is going in, but I want to hear it from you guys.
Oh, yeah. Envy, baby. Envy is like one of the 7 deadly sins, of course. And when you think of envy, like you think of the color green, you think of snakes, you think of fangs, you think of venom, like anything toxic is a great word for it. And so you know, when we were discussing the theme for the music video and just like what we really wanted to do, we all had played around with the idea of real snakes, but it wasn't until Jill and Jules discovered that they're absolutely fucking magic, and they manifested a whole ass snake handler who is NTX Morphs on Instagram. But Jules, like, why don't you explain how that happened?
Yeah, so it's somewhere along the lines. Also, this is a common theme here. I believe NTX Morphs slithered into our DMs, I should say, and they basically were like, hey, if you ever need like snakes for something, like let us know. And we're like, okay, cool, we'll keep that on the back burner. I don't know when we're gonna need snakes for something, you know, but good to know, you know, maybe. And so I don't know, some time goes by, and then we're like, oh my God, we're doing this song about envy and snakes and everything. Like, we got a guy. I mean, like, you know, who does that? And it turns out they're based out of Texas. So we filmed the video in Vegas, and they transported a large quantity of reptiles over to
There
us.
were so many fucking snakes. It's not even funny.
They fucking brought like all of them.
Yes.
And did I tell you guys that I just saw them in Texas?
No, you didn't.
Show? Dude, I was gonna send you guys a selfie, and I think we were just chatting and totally forgot. But yeah, I saw them, and they reminded us that CJ, you still have a snake available to claim.
Oh my
God. First pet snake.
What?
Your first pet snake? Didn't they say?
Yeah, I
was gonna say for a pet.
Yes, they are trying to gift me a snake, and I need to take them up on that, because so going into the shooting of the video, I was deathly afraid of snakes. Which is crazy because I have a snake tattooed on me.
Poser.
Yeah, big poser moment here. But I was like insanely afraid. I was shaking in my little boots the day of the video.
Really?
Yeah. And Kasey was like,
oh my God.
Yeah, Kasey was like calming me down. She's like, you're gonna be fine. And then the snakes arrived, and I was even more shaken like a leaf. But they brought out the cutest little babies I've ever seen. And throughout the course of the day, the whole team at NTX Morphs really helped with like getting me a nice connection with snakes in general, but there was one snake in question, Dorothy. She was amazing. She was the cutest little snake, and she was just chilling with me like all day. And I was like, "Yup, I need a snake, like really bad." And they want to give me a snake, and I fucking want a snake so bad. You know?
Gotta do it.
But yeah, I'm definitely gonna take them up on that. It's such an incredible offer, but they're such amazing people. I cannot speak more highly of them, and their snakes were very well behaved. Kasey snake was fucking lit. Kasey had Dexter, and Dexter was a big boy.
He's a big boy, and he was wonderful. He was so nice. Like, I couldn't all the shit that I was doing with him. Like, you guys can't even see it really in the music video, but I was like headbanging like crazy with him on me, and I was just throwing him around, and he was just like, man, like just having a fucking grand old time. And then Jules, you had Cirrus, didn't you?
At Cirrus, I had this really gorgeous snake. He was, I think they're called phantom snakes, but it was basically like all white. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just missed. This is why I need a snake too. Knock down my stuff.
Having a wonderful time.
Such a great experience. And I'm not like a huge snake fan. Like I've been around them. I wouldn't say like I was a lover of snakes previously, and so this definitely put, I think, a lot of us outside our comfort zone. Jill and I were like in the studio the day before we were about to go shoot, and she's like, like tomorrow we're gonna be like covered in snakes, right? And I was like, yeah, I'll worry about that. She's like, I'm a little bit nervous about it. I was like, we'll worry about that like later. Like, that's a different day. But
poor Jill, she got choked out by hers.
Oh, had this giant. She had the biggest one there. I don't know how she probably was sore after carrying that around all day.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I was.
That's, oh my god, I was just gonna ask, like, did you guys feel terrified? But clearly we know the answer now.
Yeah. I was the biggest baby the whole day. I was like, there's no way I can do this, but I'm
really cool.
I'm just a little boy. I'm afraid of everything. I really.
You know what though, Siege? Like we had a drummer come in. His name is Zachary Christopher. He's great. He actually drums for POD. And he was fucking deathly afraid. He wouldn't even touch it.
Yeah, the whole video, Zachary did not even have a snake on him.
Nope.
He's frightened by him. Same thing with Mason, our guitarist.
Yeah, Mason. Oh my god.
Shot the video. He was terrified. Whenever like Kasey was getting like too close with it, he'd be like, I can't. Back out of the shot. It was great.
Dude, and I felt so bad for doing that to him because I know how scared he must have been. And I
loved it. It was hilarious.
Oh my god, I think it was when Tommy was getting a certain shot. Like the snake was getting super close to the camera, and like went like it kind of like jolted.
No, that was when I did the bite me, right? The bite me and with Mason.
Oh, it was Mason. Yeah, and Mason was like, oh, like he had the camera. He's like, holy shit! Like, scared. It was a fun time. Yeah, it's definitely fun. God. It was a blast.
Dude, this again, music video was incredible, and just Also, Jules, your cat seems to be slithering around like a snake, kind of.
She might now. Yeah, she's doing everything she can to try to play on the laptop and shut the clamshell of the laptop, and I'm trying to push. We're safe for at least 3 minutes.
Nice.
She is a very welcome addition to this interview. Okay, CJ, I have a question for you. The motif gives this sort of like, I don't know, the best way I can describe it is this Eastern vibe to the intro motif that kind of repeats all throughout. Where did you get that inspiration?
So, funny enough, it's a sample. Like, it's not like I didn't play anything. Like the little like that that is like a chopped up sample. And I remember when Andrew had played me this, because like we put samples in all of Deadlands music. Like we actually have a song on our record that the original demo had a very kind of like similar like Middle Eastern style. You like went back when it was called Blank Slate.
Yeah.
It was like ding ding ding, like it had like that kind of like sitar like sound to it.
Yeah.
We always mess around with samples, but Andrew Wade had played it, and like I was the first one to be like, this sounds like fucking Polyphia. Like it's, and a lot
I
of
was
people,
just gonna say that.
yeah, a lot of people have made that connection. But yeah, no, it's just a sample, but it sounds crazy. I feel like it just fits the vibe of the song really well. I heard it, I was like, yep, that needs to be in there. Like it sounds really, really sick.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I was just, you mentioned it sounds like Polyphia. I was gonna say the exact same thing.
If I could play that, I would probably be on the cover of Guitar World magazine. I would be the Tim Henson.
Yeah, because when I originally heard it, I thought it was just like a bunch of tapping and stuff like that with just effects on it a bunch. But that's really cool that it's a sample.
Yeah,
And it's
well, I
interesting
think
to
I'm
know that
pretty
you
sure
guys.
it's like chopped up and stuff. Like it's like all like mixed up. But yeah,
That's
it
even
sounds
cooler.
great.
That's even cooler because it sounds so cohesive. You wouldn't think that it was like all chopped up and stuff like that. Now, this is something that always interests me whenever I like hear about songs and stuff like that. How many like versions or iterations were there of Kundalini before you decided on your finished product?
Yeah, that was pretty much it. Aside from like, we usually will walk away with like the kind of like the demo-y version of it, and then as it starts to get mixed more and more, it like takes shape. But like that was, there weren't a lot of edits on it, like if any, aside from like I said that this back and forth screaming thing. I think that was really like one of the only edits.
Yeah.
I can't think. Can you think of anything we like went back and we're like, take that out or change that?
No, dude. I think, and I also think that goes to show like how cohesive it really was. Cause like Vic, we wrote the song in 2 days. Like lyrically, structurally, melodically, it was done within 2 days.
Very quick.
You know, it's actually
That's
crazy.
crazy.
So the first day was like first half of the song, and we had gotten to a point where we're like, okay, like what do we do after this? Like obviously it's got to be breakdown. And I was like, do you care if I just like write the breakdown like tonight? Like, you know, so I when we were in Florida, and you know, when we were working with the Pretty Wild, I was fortunate enough to be able to stay with my grandparents and my uncle, and I went back to their house. I had brought my laptop, and Andrew very graciously let me borrow a guitar from the studio and
Did he?
interface. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was a Neil Westfall guitar too, which is insane.
No way.
Yeah, it was crazy. So I brought back to the house the guitar and the interface, and I like just dropped the song into my Logic project and like wrote breakdown. Then the next morning, got there and played it for everyone. I was like, "All right, I wrote a breakdown last night. Like, what do we think?" And they're like, "Cool, yep, it's in." And like it just ended up in the song. Like it was kind of just like a unanimous like, all right, like, yep, let's keep building. We didn't even stop. Even when the studio sessions for the day were over, like the grind did not stop. We just like I was so thrilled over the song. I was like, I don't want to stop. I really don't. And being, you know, like producing for Deadlands, I was like, I don't have to stop. I could just keep going. And Andrew loved it.
Yeah.
He dropped I just gave him my stems, dropped it right into his session. It was so easy.
Oh, grim.
I saw the little face popping up, and then I saw him walking around, and I was like, oh no.
Chaos.
Little
Chaos is
baby.
ensuing. Oh my god.
So
he's
tiny.
so cute.
So cute.
Jules, you gotta talk so he's the main focus of
Oh, sorry. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh my goodness.
his
So
little ears.
Those eyes are so cute.
I didn't write anything, but I want to be on it anyway.
I love her little ears.
Yeah.
little
bean. Little bean.
oh, little chicken.
Yes.
What did they say?
Chicken.
Yeah. Oh, like the pink ones.
Chicken.
Oh.
It's like
Yeah.
a free chicken.
Yes. Little rotisserie chicken. There you go.
But yeah, no.
Kasey, you're so funny. I love it.
Thanks, Boo. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome. I have a question for you guys. You guys just mentioned about how the breakdown was formed. Is that your favorite part of the song? Or is there a different part?
That's my favorite part.
You know, I have thought about it, and I can't choose a favorite part because they're all so unique in their own way. And like sometimes I'm like, oh, I really fuck with the rap. And then I'm like, no, but Jules's verse sounds so fucking sick. And then I'm like, oh, but I really love the chorus. And then I'm like, yeah, but then the breakdown is so dope. But like I go back and forth. I really just can't choose one. I fucking love the whole thing equally. It's perfect.
Yeah. It is pretty perfect. Jules, what's your favorite part of the song?
I mean, I feel like my visceral reaction is like the bite me, because it's just like a bunch of just like vocals and everything stacked, and it's so nasty. Like I love that part. But I also think I like the rap screams a lot, because I feel like you don't hear it as often in music being released right now, and it's a really cool, like, I don't know, it felt fun and experimental for us on this particular track, and like it does stand out to me as like a exciting little earworm that happens early on in the song.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was actually one of the things that Sorry, CJ, what did you say?
No, I was just saying, like, I think it's like such a perfect call out. Like, that's something that the Pretty Wylde does great in general, is breakdown call outs. There's not a single breakdown that I'm like, wow, like that didn't hit right. Every single one I'm like, wow.
No, literally. So, I mean, just to count, we have
for real.
Yeah, Reaper Fear Me.
Manifest. Get Down.
The Button Eyes one could be my new favorite.
Is that the one that's Proceed to the Root?
No, that one's
not another one.
Yeah, that's a different one.
Okay. I can't wait.
The Button Eyes one is amazing. I personally love that one. But I think Bite Me is such a good call out. I feel like it like symbolizes the envy so well. Like it really like puts a face to that name. Like the Bite Me is just
perfect. I can't remember, Jill. Was it Jill or was it Jules? Was it you? I don't know who came up with that, because it wasn't me.
I think it was me, actually. That's like I mean, I'm sure that's a fun thing about going back and like the shared notes, but I think, but it was also something too, like I might have just verbalized it, but it's something that was like felt so like obvious that like it had to be that, you know, like what else is it gonna be? And so I think that everybody's just like, yeah, duh, that makes the most sense.
Yeah, dude. I remember when we first sat down, like one of the first things you said is like, I want to talk about something like with the scales, like rip the scales from my face. And then God, we put that in, dude.
Arey and the ripping faces off that day. I was like, this has to happen.
Yes. Oh,
Getting ripping of skin. Yeah.
Oh, love it.
Yeah. One of my favorite part, I think, was the breakdown, but also the rapping bit. That was one thing that drew me into the Pretty Wylde from the very beginning, was the very unique like rap and like scream combination. I think it was amazing, and your breakdowns always hit. Always hit. My favorite one though has to be the Sleepwalker breakdown.
Yeah.
With the cough before Reaper Fear Me.
Yeah, cough core. You know, we're trying to do something.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So on the topic of breakdowns, I genuinely thought that there was going to be another breakdown at the very end when everything like slowed down in case you did that really deep scream. But you guys pulled a fast one on us. Like,
you guys, you want to know a fun fact?
What's up?
I was writing one. Like,
really?
You remember that?
No.
Jules, you have to remember that.
I do remember there was a conversation about
a conversation.
Yeah, about adding on, and then I think it got like kiboshed because of like the length, right?
It is like, I hate when songs feel long, and I'm sure Andrew Wade would always attest to that. Like, you know, like a song shouldn't feel long, and the song doesn't feel long, but I think I love that it ends with that slowdown. Like so they were tracking vocals and writing more lyrics, and I was like, I'm gonna go in the other room and try to write something like really slow and sludgy. And I was writing something that was just like so slow and disgusting, and it could have been cool, but like so many people feel like the tease of it, and I feel like that's such a good way to end a song, because all it makes you want to do in your head is just replay the song. You're like, oh shit, I want to go back, like I want to listen to it again.
I was going to say the exact same thing, because the slowness makes me want to like repeat the song.
Yeah,
I love
it again.
I do. I fucking one day, man, I would love to make an extended cut of that. Like,
that'd be so
just
sick.
for shits and gigs, you know, just come up with the most nasty, gnarly breakdown at the end of that song. That would make my fucking day. I would
Yeah,
love that.
don't think that it wasn't in question. Like it could have been,
Could still
but
be.
I think we made the right move though.
Yeah.
Maybe live we'll have to like there'll be some conversations, I'm sure.
Guys, please do a co-headliner, and like, please.
Listen, that all they got to do is say the words and we're there. Period.
I
That's off our live show.
Yeah.
Gotta see if I'm.
Yeah, so you just gotta think about it.
Yeah.
Jules, you can wait.
Fair enough.
Okay, I got one last question about this, and I think it's really simple, but I think we can really dive into it. What does Kundalini mean to you guys? You guys mentioned stuff about spirituality and like the 7 deadly sins, but what does Kundalini mean to you guys?
Miss Jules, I think you should answer this one first.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I could go down very weird wormholes for many a moon about just kind of spirituality and all the kinds of things that like we kind of dive into and want undertones of in a lot of our music and a lot of the work that we put out into the world. But Kundalini specifically is about like really tackling kind of like, we call it like toxic femininity, and just kind of this like pitting of like people against each other, and you have all these, you know, people are always envious and jealous and greed, all kinds of factors into much of what society teaches, especially women. So to be able to do a song in a like a kind of a playful way that kind of calls out those behaviors, that was my take on it, and just kind of, you know, pointing out just the nastiness of it, and that, you know, we can do a badass cool collaborative song as women, and you know, no offense, CJ, but you know, women are more powerful in numbers, and so it's kind of like a divine femininity anthem in a way, and that's my take on it.
Dude, that was like a fucking perfect sum up. I don't even think I would add anything to that. I mean, Kundalini, like as a word, is like, it's like a part in your body. It's like the base of your spine, and it's divine serpent or feminine energy, something along those lines. And like, I honestly, Jules really explained it perfectly. I mean, I can't really. That was the whole reason why we picked Envy to write about in the first place with you guys, was because, like, you know, we were playing on the fact of, like you were saying, just envy and women getting pit against each other, and it sucks to think that women are in competition when we're not. Like, just like you said, like, strength in numbers, and that's the whole epitome of why I think Kundalini is so powerful.
Yeah.
What about you, buddy?
So my take on this, like, it matters. Divine femininity. I think it is the coolest concept ever for a song, and if there's anyone that can even relate on the envy aspect, like, it's myself. Like, I like have felt that energy like in my life, and I've written plenty of songs in my days about feeling that like toxic sin of envy, and I really truly feel like this song like truly embodies it. Like, not only in its lyrics, but this is a song that really has prosody, which is like the the lyrics and rhythmic and melodic structure complement so well to each other. Like,
is this from the book you're reading?
Yeah, I've been reading this book that's been changing my life a little bit. It's called Writing Better Lyrics by Pat Pattison. And if you are a songwriter, you need to read this book because it truly will change your life. But yeah, like, it just like it really touches on every sense of envy. If you could describe envy in the way you see it and hear it and taste it and smell it, it's Kundalini. Like you really like the girls just have a way of expressing it, and I think it's beautiful. I think it's such an amazing song.
That was so well said, you guys.
Yeah, great.
I think now listening to it, I think people who watch this interview or read it will have a completely different take on the song. I know I definitely will now knowing what I know.
That's awesome.
I love it.
Yeah. I also loved, Jules, that you mentioned the aspect of like femininity and where girls and women are pitted against each other like in society. I think that's super, I don't want to say relevant because that's not the right word, but it's an issue that I don't think a lot of people are aware of.
Yeah.
And it's nice that Kundalini brings light to that aspect.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so crazy because it's, you know, you don't see that as much with men, but I think for women it's a huge like highlight, or maybe it's just like a media topic. I don't really know why it is the way it is, but it's cool to be able to kind of call it out a little bit and make a badass song and be able to kind of like express that and show people that, you know, women can collab.
Yeah, exactly. You totally tackled that by having a badass collab with three badass women.
Yeah.
I'm gonna adjust this light, and now we're going to switch things up and we're gonna ask some individual questions to each artist. Again, we're gonna start with Jules and from the Pretty Wylde, but again, Kasey, CJ, if you guys want to jump in and have a discussion on any of the questions, feel free. All right, so Jules, congratulations for signing on the Pretty Record to Sumerian Pretty Record. Jeez, my God. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm having time.
That sounds like my
congratulations for signing the Pretty Wylde. It's the ADHD. I'm trying to read my notes and talk, and there's a disconnect there. Jeez. Okay, let's restart. Congratulations on signing the Pretty Wylde to Sumerian Records. That's a huge achievement and an incredible opportunity to be under the same label as, you know, artists like Bad Omens, Poppy, Hollywood Undead, Pal Royale, and like so much more. How exciting is it to be under the same label as these well-known bands, and what made you guys choose Sumerian?
You know, that's a great question. You know, after we had a lot of you know, spotlights kind of pointed at us with Sleepwalker, we had you know, we were very fortunate to have several labels come approach us, and Sumerian was one that really just it really called to us the most, just because of the way that they support their artists, the way that they treat their artists, and just, you know, a lot of those bands, you know, we massively respect the careers that they've built. We've been watching them for years. You know, I've been in the mosh pit at many of their roster, you know, in the thick of it. And so it's very cool to, you know, see our name alongside of those guys. But mostly it's, you know, it's the team, it's the leadership that they have behind the label that really just is supportive, and it's very artist first. And, you know, coming out of a previous record deal where that wasn't the case as much, and you felt more of like a number, we feel really at home. And our relationship with Sumerian is still very new. It's only been a few months, but we are very, very excited to see how we're growing together already.
That's so sweet. I'm glad that you guys found a good label that puts artists first, because I think that from just hearing things around, like from other artists, it sounds like that's just really important, and I'm so glad that you guys found that record.
Yeah.
So we're gonna jump back, just because I want to ask this one question to you guys. What was the most appealing thing about working with Deadlands on Kundalini?
I think honestly, it's just the energy, and like, you know, before we had gotten to meet, just seeing like the star power that Deadlands has through the screen, and just seeing like how many fans connect and interact with them online. We're like, they just have this like magnetic energy, and it was just really captivating to both Jill and I, and it made the collab a lot more obvious. And so when we finally like opened up that, you know, the possibility of, you know, the timing being right to be able to collab, yeah, when when we all just kind of agreed on it, then it was just instantaneous. We knew it was a perfect fit for our first collab. But honestly, it's a lot of the hard work we put in on socials. It really shows, and you got to have that to promote the band and promote the music and connect with your fans, because it's 2025 and like you can't just have your head in the sand, that the internet's not, it's one thing, to meet people in person, but it's another thing to be able to captivate through a screen. That's insanely hard.
Thank you so much.
That's so sweet.
That is insanely sweet. Thank
I
you.
love you both. I love you, bitch.
Feelings mutual.
I was actually just gonna ask, how do you guys feel about hearing all that about your band?
I love you, bitch. I'm never gonna stop loving you, bitch. No, it's just so fucking sweet and cool, and like it warms my fucking heart, man. Like I just hope, bless you. I just hope that you guys go so fucking far, like to the moon, to Jupiter, to Pluto. I don't give a fuck. Like, I just want people to believe in you guys as much as we do. And like, you're just so sick. You're just so sick.
Again, this is so heartwarming. This is so cute. Emily and I were talking about how it was going to be really interesting to have two different bands in the same interview, and this has just been like so sweet this entire time. I love it. I love it so much.
Love it.
The divine feminine.
It's what
Exactly.
It's what the scene needs.
Dead
like,
ass.
I feel like all I hear in metal is like, oh, that riff sounds like blah blah blah.
Yeah,
This band fucking ripped this off.
Yeah,
and like
they sound better than this band, and it's like.
And meanwhile, like 99%, like, sue me for saying this, 99% of metalcore is like the most boring, like shitty music. Like there is so much bad music in metal, and
I agree with you there.
Yeah, and to work with a band like the Pretty Wylde is like insane, because I will never forget, like I can literally replay the moment in my head of like listening to them for the first time. I'm like, wow, they're fucking doing it right. Like it's not like it's funny because I just posted a video like on my Instagram and TikTok. Like it was like how to make metal in 2025, and it perfectly explains like the generic soulless like production aspect of it. And I have people in the comments like, oh, like this is just copy and paste of blah blah blah. I'm like, yep, that's the point. You got it. Like, so to be able to work with a band that totally defies that, like it's not a cookie cutter band. Like the Pretty Wylde is a truly music first, like the songwriting is there, the production is there, the talent is like it's all there, like you can hear it. So I could not think of a better band to work with.
Yeah, dude. And I say it all the time, like I have said this to, I was just on tour with my other band, Nita Strauss, and I was telling them, I'm like, dude, you guys don't understand. Like they are changing the fucking scene as we know it. Like I said this to them. I said this in a couple other interviews that I've had. Like I will turn blue in the face until I say it. They're fucking changing the game, and they're doing it in the best way fucking possible. So I'm so proud. So fucking proud.
It's really nice of you guys.
It's true.
We blush over here through the Zoom screen.
Well, I like it.
Actually, that was one thing I was going to say was I think the best bands in the scene are the ones who are doing things different and really pushing the conventions of metal and of their genre even. And that ties into my next little bit. Jules, the Pretty Wylde's marketing tactics with promoting your songs are so unique because you guys use Jill and her acrobatics to create interest. I think that's so cool. First of all, it's a super cool way of setting yourself apart and really like, because now when I think of the Pretty Wylde, I think of your unique way of songs and then the acrobatics, right? It's such a cool way of setting yourself apart. One, like, how did you guys sort of come up with that? And two, do we expect to see this at any live performances? And Jules, can you do like any acrobatics like that?
Those are all great questions. So yeah, so like Jill's always been very into like martial arts, tricking, which is more like off axis kind of tumbling. It's like a less traditional version of gymnastics. And so like she just always wanted to incorporate that kind of art form into music. And a lot of times people were like, that doesn't make sense. Like whenever we would tell people about it, they're like, that just, like they couldn't really envision how it would all segue into like one uniform like brand. But as she started making more of the videos and they started to intertwine with the music tighter, I think it was a good way to get people to kind of stop scrolling and you're visually occupied. So then you're also, sonically interested. And so it's worked out really well for us. And yes, as far as live shows, we've already started a lot of the stage blocking and they are very high energy, high intensity. We we did get these, we recently bought these ego risers that have these extra grippy feet so we can do all kinds of assorted tricks off of them for the live shows. So there are going to be, dramatic high energy elements like that. As far as like my tumbling, I'm more of like, we kind of have a different personality types and that's something where I'm a lot more reserved. And so Jill and I, we have just very like kind of yin and yang personality types where, the more I've actually unveiled an Instagram and TikTok whatnot this year. So I'm trying to open myself up more and show more of my skill sets and a bit more of my personality too. And it's a bit of a juxtaposition to Jill, but I think when you see the live shows, it'll kind of make sense, the direction that is like each of us portray.
Oh my God, that's so awesome. I'm so excited. Oh my God. Yeah, I keep telling like everyone in our publication, my friends who do and don't listen to metal, that I need to see both of you guys live so bad. Like, I'm so excited for this. Okay, so now we're gonna talk a little bit about Button Eyes. So this one it's been recently released and it's such an amazingly creepy song. It kind of feels like you're living in the Coraline like universe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of thing. Is that where your inspiration came from? And like, what was the process of creating the song?
Very much so. A lot of times we do toy around with different kinds of like heavier subject matters. And a way that we can bring them up is by using more playful analogies and different kinds of like literary methods to like bring them to life. And so for Button Eyes in particular, we took Coraline as an inspiration. Originally, we had a different like working title for it, but I remember Jill and I like busted in the studio one day and we were like, Andrew, we got to write a song about puppets. And he's like, puppets, that's not cool. Like puppets aren't cool. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, no. Like we had like this, like, and this was, it took a while to actually get to this particular song concept, but initially it was like puppets, marionettes, like very theatrical. And that's like a different side of me. I don't show that often, is that I do have like a lot of background with like theater writing, different, I've been doing work as a playwright for many years.
Really?
The theatrics into our show is going to be very much a part of our live performance as well. But this particular song, like with Button Eyes, just really pairs, my interests and my skill sets mixed with like, theater and these very dark universes, kind of like, if Tim Burton were to write a song, I suppose.
Yeah. You guys also created a music video for that. I haven't seen that one yet, and I cannot wait to, because if you're saying anything about like the theatrics and stuff like that, I'm sure it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, all that teaser stuff is cool. It's not even all those bits online. Those are just cool social media content bits we've done. We haven't filmed an actual video for Button Eyes, so we are hoping to talk to the label about that. But I'd be surprised if there wasn't one in the works in the next few months.
Yeah. Now Button Eyes is a much more melody focused song rather than your typical like nu metal and your heavier stuff. What made you guys switch it up this time?
A lot of the album we've been working on is super heavy. And so this particular song, we just wanted something as a teaser and as the first release off of the album to be more kind of like pop driven. We're kind of calling it like dark pop or like more of like theatrical metal pop. And it felt fun and playful. And we just wanted something to start off the album with a less serious tone, at least, you know, melody wise. And it just felt playful, and it felt like a good intro to the album.
It definitely is, because it's captivating like so many different people right now, and I think it's gonna be great. I cannot wait for that album to come out.
If there's something that I can say about this song, only just, you know, speaking as a fan here, like this is literally just coming from someone who listens to the Pretty Wild, just like, you know, everyone else. If there is one thing that I will say about Button Eyes, like, that is a song that, you know, it is like an incredibly written song. If you take away every single piece of production and it was just sung with just vocals and piano or an acoustic guitar, it's still just as good of a song. Like,
I can't wait to listen to it.
That's how you know you've written a fucking banger. Like, it doesn't even need anything. Like, but it is perfect. Like, exactly how it is, it's perfect.
CJ, it's so funny. Like, you're summoning this. Like, Jill and I literally, when we left the studio last week on our final day, we were working on an acoustic video to do, and so like we're gonna do a slowed down, just piano stripped with just guitar. I think I cut my vocals the other day. I can't remember. I don't know, but we were working out our vocal parts that we want for the video, and trying to figure out what parts we're gonna do and whether we do electric or acoustic. But I think it's gonna be acoustic guitar with just piano and just 2 raw vocals. So that might be coming in the works. We'll see.
Nice.
I get it.
The song is perfect. It's like it really is so well written. So props to you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's amazing. Your breakdown in Button Eyes with the, well, I guess this is a little bit of spoil.
Oh yeah.
With the cut out the parasite bit. What's the meaning behind that little aspect of it? Because the breakdown is incredible, and it comes at like this pace where you don't really expect it.
Mm-hmm.
And like with those lyrics that I won't say again because Kasey is listening. What's the meaning behind that?
You know, the whole song in general is just really about when, you know, when everybody's had, this is another theme too that ties in with Kundalini, but everybody's had like a toxic individual in their life, whether it's somebody that's manipulating you, using you, trying to make you conform to whatever they want you to be, you know, whether it's in a relationship or, you know, a friendship, or, you know, supposed friendship, or, you know, in a professional setting. And so like, it's really just this, like, that particular call out is just like that exact moment when you make a conscious effort to eliminate that person from your life. And just that kind of that freedom that comes along with that, whatever it is, when it becomes the last time and you actually say, that's it, no more, you know, like sever it. And that's, you can kind of hear like the blades and stuff going in the background too, on that part of the breakdown too, which is neat. Sorry, Kasey, for all the spoilers.
I listen. I'll be fine.
Yeah, it's basically just that final definitive moment.
I like that, and I like how you expressed it as freedom, and then it comes with this super heavy, like almost cathartic breakdown.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so cool. Again, you guys are so cool. Another project you guys have worked on was your cover of Metallica's The Unforgiven with Kitty and Diamante for the Queen of the Ring soundtrack.
Yeah.
That song was so unique and interesting, and honestly, it made me feel like I wanted to go on some like fantasy journey. So what was it like to come up with a reimagined cover with Kitty and Diamante, who have like super different sounds and vibes to you guys?
It was cool. It was something, you know, we're all label mates, and that's kind of where the idea originated from. And it was interesting because this like reimagined version of such like an epic song was something that, you know, we had to kind of handle in a way that, you know, was fitting towards, you know, like the aesthetic of the film. Go see Queen of the Ring if you haven't yet. It's in theaters. But it was cool. It was just a really fun way to have just super raw vocals, which is something you don't see a lot in our genre. So to do something that stripped back felt very, very different, outside of our comfort zone a little bit. and it was fun to kind of push those boundaries a bit.
Dude, I actually have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Did you meet Diamante?
No, everything I know, that's why I was saying it's so crazy that we actually got to do Kundalini like together.
Yeah.
No, we didn't. We have not gotten to meet in person, but I'm hoping soon. You know, someday.
I had the privilege of touring with her. She's so fucking sweet, dude. She is so sweet.
How did I not know this?
I don't know. I mean, I toured with her with Nita. So like Deadlands didn't tour with her or anything, but dude, she is the fucking sweetest girl ever. She always has a smile on her face. Like she's so nice. If you guys like run like cross paths or anything, please do say hi. Like she's so fucking nice.
Oh, 100% will. I love that. It's always so good to hear, you know, because whenever you meet someone for the first time, you're like, okay, hopefully they like what I did on the track, you know, because you don't have that like live collaboration in the moment. So.
Oh yeah. I'm sure they love it.
Jules,
there's nothing bad that you guys could do. Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. No, you're good. Jules, did you see Queen of the Ring? And like, it's all about kind of women empowerment, which kind of goes along with the whole aspect of Kundalini. But how did you feel about the movie?
It was so well done, honestly, from the script to the visuals to just. I'm a sucker for a time period piece. I love period pieces. I think they're amazing, and it's very, you know, transporting when you're able to submerge into like a different decade or century or whatever the film happens to be centered around. But for Queen of the Ring in particular, it follows a true story of just one of the best female wrestlers, and to be able to see that journey and how, you know, not only was there challenges with being women in a male dominated industry, it was actually illegal in certain states. And so like girl on girl wrestling wasn't allowed, but it's very interesting to see how even back in the day, like they had the same struggles that, you know, that we still see. Certain patterns never, I guess, change, but it's just interesting to see the different challenges that the main character faces throughout the course of it. And then how she just becomes more independent and just against all odds prevails, which is, you know, the ultimate hero's journey. So it was great. It was a great film. I don't want to ruin it too much, but we saw it on opening night, which was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, we definitely had a good time.
It's awesome. So everyone should go watch Queen of the Ring. Queen of the Ring. That's awesome. Emily was telling me how she wanted to go see that movie, and I hope that they're showing it in Canada. If not, I'm gonna find some way to watch it because it sounds very interesting.
For sure, you need to. You'd love it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of like film and stuff like that too. I almost wanted to go to university for film, but I love storytelling and stuff like that, so I'm quite excited to see it. Ooh. You guys, the Pretty Wylde, are playing Incarceration and Welcome to Rockville. How do you feel about getting to perform at those two awesome festivals with some really cool lineups?
Super excited. You know, I attended Rockville last year
nice.
as a fan, and it's very cool and surreal to think that we're going to be there in just a couple months and we get to play. That's an insane feeling, and we're so excited because it's going to be one of our first shows performing as the Pretty Wylde live. So we're definitely excited to unveil that, and we've been working so hard behind the scenes to make sure that it is everything we want it to be.
That's so awesome. I hope to photograph Incarceration, and I hope to see you guys there.
Yes.
Because like I said, I'm so excited to see your live performances.
And what a cool venue too. Incarceration at like the penitentiary. It's insane.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super excited for you guys. And with your new signing to Sumerian, you guys have created some music videos for songs that have been out for a little bit. Like you guys came out with the Sleepwalker music video. Do you guys have any plans for the future with Sumerian, like an album or EP? Well, you guys mentioned that you guys have an album coming up.
Yeah, we're doing a full-length album. We're super excited about it. Everything's kind of still in the works. We're almost finished writing the entirety of it. We're wrapping up the final 2 songs actually. So that is what Jill's flying to me for. So between that, we're looking at a definite release of this year. So that's exciting. I've heard a few different months tossed around, but I know it is going to come out this year, and we're going to do, you know, we're going to feed the people. We're going to do some single releases. That way, you know, people don't have to wait for months and months on end. Something new. So Jill and I are already talking today about what we want the next single to be, following Button Eye. So all good things very soon, hopefully.
I'm so excited, and I'm sure every fan of the Pretty Wylde is super excited for that too. It was so nice to hear about all these things that are in the works, and these are so awesome and exciting. And so now we're going to shift our questions over to Kasey and CJ. And once again, Jules, if you want to jump in with any questions that you have, feel free. So, Kasey and CJ, I just want to congratulate you guys on your growth and success that Deadlands has been having these past few years. You guys signed with Spine Farm Records last summer and have played numerous festivals and tours. So tell us, when was Deadlands formed and how did you guys meet?
First, thank you, and CJ, go ahead.
So it's crazy, like seeing where we are now. Like I thank my lucky stars every day. It's like it's so surreal to me. I've known Kasey for a very long time now. It's probably been like 4 years about.
Yeah, fuck.
And
Nice.
And we've been doing music together for like that entire time.
Wow.
We even played in like a different band that wasn't Deadlands like before this. And me and Kasey were always the ones that just like clicked. Like we just musically work so well together. And it's insane to me how much I've watched Kasey grow and how much I've been able to like grow as a musician being in Deadlands. You know, we've like we've watched all of this happen in front of us. Like all of this was like in our bedrooms. Like this was literally like Crushed was in my bedroom, and Kasey's social media was in this room. Like there used to be a fucking Fortnite sign like above her door. Like like we've kind of done it all. Like
I'm bringing that back, by the way.
yeah, she totally has to bring that back, the Fortnite sign. But it's so crazy because we went from just like writing these little songs to like I can't even describe to you what this next record is for us, because like, and on top of it, we're still already looking forward to what comes after this next record. But
Nice.
it's like it's such an exponential growth from our first EP. And being on Spine Farm, we got to experiment a lot. One of those experiences was working with the Pretty Wylde and Andrew Wade, which was amazing. We know how talented all of you guys are. But we got to work with so many different people. We did songs with Boy What. We did songs with
Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
That's sick. I just call him JD. He's the boy. He's a real homie.
He's great.
Former Ice Nine member. He also works with Motionless in White. He is out of this world. Such a privilege to work with him. We worked with Brandon from Strayview. We really got to like experiment and kind of learn our sound and what we like and what we don't like and the process of how we want to do things. You know, like this band has changed so much in such a short amount of time, and I feel like we're really starting to understand it. And today I was going through like a note that I made. I was showing Kasey like just of how I feel we should really go about like our songwriting and marketing and everything. And I feel like we're just such in a good place to grow. And we're both like insanely grateful for what has already happened, and we're just like so excited for what's more to come.
I'm excited to see what's to come too.
I promise you it's insane. It's
give us that album, baby. We need it.
Hell yeah.
She's on her way. Don't you worry.
Thank God. I'm so excited. Um, so how do you guys go about your writing process in your songs? Do you write your lyrics first and then create your instrumentals, or is it instrumentals and then lyrics, or how do you guys usually go about it?
Honestly, it varies like song to song. And I think CJ and I are still trying to find like our writing process that really works for us, especially because like, the more cooks you have in the really like nail down a method. And while we're so grateful to have worked with so many people this year, like part of me for the next record, like I really want to just sit down with CJ and me for a couple of the songs and just like, all right, listen, like what do we want to do? What's the goal for this song? Like how can we make this turn out into the goal that we're seeking for? And then after everything's said and done, then we want to bring it to somebody else to really like tidy it up, put the bells and whistles on it. Um but I do think like I mean it just really depends. Like there's some songs that we have like, we'll start off with some of my lyrics like Crushed I had written since I was like 15. And it was just sitting in my notes app for years before I could do anything with it. So having that writing that and then having it come to life via fucking CJ, he literally did all the production, all the playing, everything on that track. And then House of Cards was probably more like a 50-50 kind of thing where I was like, hey, I have this melody and I have this idea, but I don't really have like an instrumental kind of thought to it. And that's when CJ comes in and kicks fucking ass. And then Villain was CJ writing with Boy What to fucking create just an acoustic instrumental, and then they brought it to me, told me, hey, can you write some lyrics? And I was like, fucking sure, yeah. And then
Yeah, Villain was literally written on an acoustic guitar. Like it was
Nice.
it was insane, and it was written in like 2 days.
Yeah.
That was like a really fast.
Damn.
Yeah. But I like immediately I felt like it was a hit. I was like, this is like super banger right here. And same with House of Cards. House of Cards had so many variations. House of Cards lived a long fucking life.
Yeah, she did.
But yeah, like it was all about finding the sound. And I definitely think that like this record shows it. This record like and this was the record that it honestly makes sense for us to have done that because the record is about the seven deadly sins, and song is a deadly sin. It's 7 songs, and each one like
Okay,
kind of
awesome.
like breathes its own energy, like so I feel like it's okay. It doesn't sound like messy and like too like it doesn't
Discombobulated.
yeah, it doesn't sound like a million different songs just shoved into like a record and we just like here you go. Like it still sounds cohesive, but we definitely experimented this time around, and it was perfect for us because we learned what works and what doesn't work. And I feel like now going into it, we can definitely have more of like a structure to it. But one thing like I will make sure of is that the songs speak for themselves. And we're like, we'll both make sure of that. We know what we want. We are really like nailing down our vision. I feel like we both have like a really good head on our shoulders and can understand what we want out of Deadlands.
Word again.
Speaking of House of Cards and Villain and Crushed, those are some of your top songs, and they're all amazing. Like I personally love House of Cards, and had this great sort of metalcore, like deathcore, even edge to the vocals and instrumentals, specifically the vocals. I find Kasey, you kind of pull out some of those like high pitched screams that you hear in deathcore, like think I don't know, Pray for Plagues kind of screams. And again, I love that one. I think that's why House of Cards really struck a chord with me. Can you tell us a little about those songs and like how Kasey, how you choose which screams you use, and like CJ, what kind of gear do you use for recording and playing live?
Absolutely. I mean, vocally, like I always wanted to be super versatile And I always just had such a fascination with heavy vocals in general and just the range of heavy vocals that like when it comes to writing, like first and foremost, like you got to do what's best for the song. But I think the thing that sets us apart in the sense of, you know, having somebody not get tired of listening is the variety of vocals that there are in there because, you know, you can have one of the things like I'm gonna give Knock Loose as an example. As much as I love them now, I didn't always love them as much as I do. And one of the things was just that Brian's screams are like the same throughout each song, which is great if you're going for that. But like for me, I was like, I just want something a little bit more to be captured, especially because it could really feed the emotions of the listener and as well as yourself, just like going through it. So I just tried to figure out a way to capture that. And I think having the placement that I do and the accents that I try to think about is just me, you know, what would I be doing if I were to be able to sit in a room alone and let everything out, all the frustrations, all the emotions of the song that I'm writing, like where would be the most powerful parts and where would be the parts that I would throw in a little spice, you know?
That's awesome.
And
CJ, what kind of your gear and like stuff do you use for recording?
it's insanely boring. There's like there's nothing that every single metal guitarist on this earth does. It's the cool side of it is like, you know, producing Deadlands. Like I am the one to typically bring like the instrumentals of the songs to life. Like I am kind of in the pilot seat in that aspect. But
Nice.
this is my spaceship. This is literally my everything right here. All Deadlands music like is birthed right here. And like it's literally just a laptop with Logic Pro on it. And the plugins I use for my guitar is probably the same exact plugins that Andrew Wade is using on like it's like metalcore is very like there's a way to do it and then like there's a way that it doesn't sound good. And like I wish it was more interesting than that, but I feel like now that having good production is so like accessible to people, it's now a game of like, you know, anyone can sound like good production, but like who really has a good song, you know? And like the simple answer is like, oh, I use neural DSP for my guitars. Like, yeah, it sounds cool, but there's tons of like little tricks that I do kind of behind the scenes, like with mixing our music and whatnot, that will give it a certain sound, and it's, you know, people will pick up on it and be like, oh, that was cool, like, but I like I used to be such a nerd about the way our mixes sounded and the way that the guitar tone sounded and the way the drums were mixed. And I feel like I've had like this mental shift of like, I really just want to make the best sounding music because you can't, you know, like just dress up like something that's not good at its core. So
yeah,
that's my philosophy. I know I kind of like went a little off track, but I feel like it kind of speaks to like my method lately.
It does. And I think that what you guys are doing is incredible. I think I was telling Emily we were talking, actually preparing these interview questions, and I was like re-listening to some things, and I just thought that you guys were incredible. Like again, because I think, as I said to Jules, like the people who are very unconventional in metalcore are the ones who seem to have the most success, and both of your bands seem to have that.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. CJ, you also have a solo project called No Shade. And we know that you do your vocals and you mix your tracks. Will we expect to hear your vocals on a future Deadlands song?
Oh, no way. That's such a question. I really appreciate that a lot. Yeah, so I do go by No Shade.
For the record, I would love this. Go ahead.
That's crazy. I would have never expected to hear that from Kasey, because
Really?
And I'm saying that because Kasey's extremely talented. She has an incredible voice. But yeah, maybe like it would be cool.
Actually, you're already on a Deadlands song too.
I definitely am, but like just as background vocals. But what song?
Crushed.
Oh yeah, I am in Crushed. I sang harmony in a pre-chorus.
That counts.
But maybe I just posted like some teasers of like some just demos that I've just been trying to write. Like songwriting is a muscle that you really just have to like work out in order to stay good. And I've just been doing that lately, and I felt like, I got to share this with the world. I can't just like write music and just keep it to myself. Like if it's shitty, if it's good, just put it out into the world. And people keep commenting and they say like, is this new Deadlands? I'm like, man, everyone just loves Deadlands. Everyone wants to know, is this new Deadlands? Yeah, maybe we'll see. Like, it's definitely a big possibility. But I really appreciate that question a lot. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm excited to hear. And Kasey, you should totally let him do some vocals.
Really want to.
Hell yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah, that's awesome. You.
On top of that, you are the founder of the Medusa Recording Company. Would you be able to share with us a little bit about that?
Oh my god. Yo, this is the best interview ever. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I started a production company called Medusa Recording Company, and I am in the process of just trying to become like a one-stop shop for artists and bands to have a product that is unique and like to a standard that I feel like all, heavy genres and just music in general deserves. I have been producing for a really long time, and Deadlands was the first time I was able to produce for something other than my solo project, No Shade. And, I just started working with some of my first clients, and it's been like an absolute privilege. We've been writing amazing music, doing really good mixing and mastering work. And it's just stuff that I'm really proud of, like even outside of Deadlands. So this is something that this year I am trying to take extremely seriously. But yeah, if anyone ever needs some recording, mixing, and mastering, I do graphic design. I am for Deadlands. I am kind of like the one-stop shop. So I'm trying to push all that into one. But yeah, I do.
Talented king here.
Thank you so much. I try to do everything.
You're welcome.
Like I said, I make merch designs. I edit the videos. I make our ad mats for our tours. I kind of do everything. So I would like to extend that to whoever is in need and wants it to be accessible for them, because trust me, I was in a position where I always wanted things that looked cool and sounded cool, and I was broke. So I obviously I want to just be someone that can help out with that. That's exactly what Medusa is.
That's amazing. Emily mentioned how you designed a shirt for Deadlands, and the design looked really sick.
Oh, thank you. That's so sick. Yeah, I did. I've designed a few merch pieces for Deadlands, and I always am nervous. Like I'll send it to Kasey, like, oh, is she gonna like this? But
yeah, Micah. He came up with this really cool hollow rose. It's like a hand holding a rose. We have them on our merch store. We only have a couple of them left. But like
the holographic.
Yeah, that one's super cool. He came up with we were doing like a little Valentine's Day design.
Oh, the candy heart with the little snake.
Dude, that is like my favorite thing that you've come up with. It's like a little candy heart that says "bite me" inside, and it's got a little snake wrapped around it. It is so cute. That's so cute. He did like a Final Judgment design that's like purple and orange. That's super cool.
Oh yeah,
he's done Reaper. He's done a ton. He's done a fucking ton.
That's amazing.
You ask me up like this. I'm just the boy. I'm
just gonna go.
No, I'm just the boy.
You're the multi-talented king. I actually one of the programs that I want to apply to is that I actually recently got accepted to was a graphic design program for university.
That's awesome.
Thank you. yeah, going into university next year, I kind of want to do some graphic design stuff. So it's so cool to hear that like you do all that stuff, especially with your band too.
Yeah, it's daunting because I am not like a full-time graphic designer, but I feel like it's just one of the hats you kind of have to wear. Like when you're an artist, you're not just a songwriter, like that's kind of the bare minimum nowadays. You have to be like, and Kasey's proven to me you got to be like a content creator, like an influencer. You have to be like you have to wear a lot of hats.
Yeah,
And
well, that was actually the phrase I was just about to say. Like, I say it to people all the time. Like, if you think for 1 second that you can sing and make it, and that's all that you do, like, you are sorely mistaken.
yeah.
Know how to sing, write, film, record, edit, fucking promote, market. Like, you need to know how to do everything. You need to know the business aspect. It's a lot of shit.
Yeah, and even with all that, you're still guaranteed nothing. And that's why I always say I'm so grateful that I'm able to do this full time, but it's it makes me so happy. There's nothing that I love more than being able to do this and kind of like share my gifts. And I don't know, like I feel like this is something that me and Kasey and even the Pretty Wild was put on this earth to do. I'm a very firm believer in that. And it is without a doubt in my mind that success will come to those who work very hard for it. And I'm surrounded by people with that, and I think that everyone should definitely surround themselves with the people that are going down that path.
Yeah. I love that you mentioned that these like you guys and the Pretty Wild were all put on like the earth to make music, and whoever, works at it is going to see results because both you guys have clearly just like worked at it. Like Deadlands and the Pretty Wild have worked at it, like from what I can see, and you're getting the success that you deserve. It's really, really,
Thank
you guys
you
are
so
doing
much.
such a good job.
It means the world. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. On the topic of being a content creator and having to wear so many hats, Kasey, you're known for covering very well-known artists and promoting upcoming new artists. The first introduction that I had was Emily showed me like your video of you covering Soft Spine by Spirit Box, which was so sick. When did you start learning to like sing and scream, and what made you take it to TikTok?
So I learned how to sing kind of when I was in like third grade. I just took like third grade chorus, where it was like stupid little freaking kid songs or whatever.
Oh,
And
yeah.
like it wasn't yeah, and it wasn't anything serious, but then I would just notice myself singing as like when I was playing video games in my bedroom or just walking down the street or whatever. Like I but it was never like, oh, I'm never gonna be good enough to be famous, like who cares about that? It's whatever. And then I fell in love with metal when I was like probably around 12. I started teaching myself how to scream by the time I was like 13 or 14, because I wanted to protect my voice at shows, because I was like, well, I like singing for fun and I don't really want to lose that. But I also really just want to sing at shows because it's cathartic, because it's fun. And so I had posted covers on YouTube like once a year starting when I was, I think, 15.
Wow.
And they are not great. A lot of them are not great. But like I keep them up there so people can see like the growth and the progress, and because I always wanted to see like, oh, how did Courtney sound when she was younger or whatever. But when I started posting it on TikTok, the reason why was because CJ and we were in a band, and then we were not in that band. And then before Deadlands, we were kind of just floating and seeing like, fucking around. It was like during COVID.
Yeah.
And so I was like, CJ, can we do a cover of Zombified by Falling in Reverse? And then he was like, good. So we did. And it got like 60,000 views. And I was like, holy shit. All right.
Nice.
I see you. Okay.
We had done so many covers. Like when we just started, we did Farewell to Flesh.
Yeah.
We did.
But do you remember the one that blew up?
well, the one that like really blew up was the Lorna Shore one. That was like the first one that
was the fucking second one that we posted.
Yeah, and it did like.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
You redid it like 3 times now. Like she,
yeah.
But like as soon like when I had met Kasey, I knew like what a gift that she had. And the first band that we were in, like Kasey was not using her gift, so we decided that like we're like, nah, this band isn't really for us. And when we were kind of in that floating period, like I was just kind of focusing on No Shade, but I wanted to help Kasey as much as I could because regardless of whether we were in a band together or not, we're best friends. Like we fucking did everything together. We were like, we hang out like multiple times a week, like just like as friends, because like you need that in a band. You need like real friendship. And I believed in Kasey since day one, and I wanted nothing but success for her. And I was doing her covers for months and months, and eventually I was like, you should learn how to do this. And the computer that we're on right now is Kasey's computer. It's my old computer. So I sold it to her, but like it has all of my plugins on it. It has like I made her a template, and I sat with her for months teaching her like how to record and edit and all the gear that she needed.
You taught me how to record within like 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And I would call him for months. Like, hey, how do you do this thing? How do you do that? Like, and then as soon as I picked up the basics, I never fucking called him again.
Exactly. Yeah, she it was insane how quick she learned it, and like she understands it so well. I'm like, cool. Like now I don't like
too hasty.
I was like, I don't got to do shit now. Like Kasey can do it on her own. And then just watching, like the Kasey Karlsen page like blow up, I'm like, I fucking knew it. I should have put $1 million on that. I knew it because I knew it from day one. I was like, it's gonna happen. And I'm like, I just need to like be some kind of vessel. And like I not that I'm taking any kind of credit, because like obviously Kasey is who she is. There is like no one else that is Kasey.
Well, no,
Karlsen.
dude, take all the fucking credit because you did help the shit out of me. Are you serious?
Yeah, but now like but now we're Deadlands. Like it's bigger than both of us, like it's just such a privilege to work with Kasey, and she obviously deserves it. Like she worked her ass off, and that's why like we will like it's kind of like I will die on this hill of, you can't just be the singer, you gotta be everybody. You gotta wear all these hats. Like that's the only way it's really gonna work.
Yeah, man. Oh my god, this again I'll say it again, this interview is so sweet, and I love everything that's happening. I love all the conversations we're having because it's so cute. We love to see people supporting people. You guys are now about to be touring with our one and only girly pop sensation, Scene Queen. How excited are you guys for that?
So fucking excited. We are so excited. CJ and I are in the midst of designing a tour exclusive design for that tour, and I can't fucking wait. Like y'all are, they're gonna eat it up. Yeah. Everybody's gonna eat it the fuck up, and I just cannot wait. It's so full circle because Scene Queen asked me to come up on stage when I was like, I think I had like 100,000 followers, maybe maybe even less. I don't even know, but I was nowhere near the position I am in now, and she asked me to come up on stage when she was headlining the Mercury Lounge on her first tour, and then she asked me to come up on stage when she was opening for Set It Off, and nice. Dude, like it's now full circle. Like we're opening for her, and it's fucking incredible.
I'm trying to find the picture of us with Scene Queen.
Oh, you gotta find it. Oh, is that it? Is that Scene Queen? There we go.
Yeah, okay.
So there's the video.
So this was September 8th, 2022. So
I was so
wow.
Excited for this merch design.
What's up?
Excited for the merch design.
Oh, it's
dude,
lit.
it's
I
so
literally
sick.
like before we hopped on this interview, Kasey was like, "Close your computer. We got to do the interview." I'm like, "Oh, this design looks so sick. It's got knives and bow tie, like a little bow and blood. It's so cute,
Bow
and
tie.
it's pink."
I'm like, I was gutted when I found out that Scene Queen wasn't coming around to Toronto or like Canada, because I'm from there, right? So I was like, because I've been wanting to photograph.
I look like a different person in this image. I literally like I don't even know.
Oh my god!
I probably lost like probably like 100 pounds.
Can you send that to me? I'm gonna send that to her. I'm gonna be like, baby, that's so
cool.
Oh, that's
it's
so
crazy,
cute,
dude.
Yeah, that was such a fun day too.
Now, actually, if you guys are okay with it, can either Kasey send it to like Emily or something, that of course if you guys are okay with it, because we have a write-up that we're gonna produce, so putting that in would be nice.
Totally,
okay,
totally.
So because just want to make sure you're good with all of you guys.
Absolutely.
And is there a favorite venue that you guys will be performing at on this tour? And if not, what is your all-time favorite venue to perform at?
Oh my god, my all-time favorite venue is the Rave in Milwaukee. I fucking love that venue. It's got like a million different rooms. It's got like the haunted pool that Mac Miller wrote his like last message on or whatever. It's such a beautiful venue. Yeah, it's got like 3 different rooms too. Like you have the small room, you have the medium room, and then you have the big room. My dog just walked in. I'm sorry.
I thought your room was just haunted, but
yep, it's a ghost. His name is Jet. Came and see him.
Oh my god, we have a puppy and a kitty on this interview. This is
puppy and a kitty.
The best.
I love it. What is your favorite venue?
Oh, that's hard. Do you want me to close that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please.
The dog walking in reminded, like, I thought you guys were haunted. That reminded me of another interview I did with Dark Divine. I asked him about ghost stories, and immediately the computer starts glitching out.
Of course.
Wow.
It would. Yep. I asked him about ghost stories twice, and each time he like glitched out for 5 minutes. It was insane.
Great.
That's spooky.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of spooky, my favorite venue is probably Area 15 in Las Vegas. Well, it's Area 15 is more so the complex. What is it called? The wall. The wall inside of Area 15 is the venue. It's like it's not very big either, but it's just like really cool. Yeah, super clean. Like big video wall. It's awesome. Like it's really, really fucking cool. And everything around it inside is like a vibe. It's just like an immersive experience. Everyone should do it.
Nice. I love venues with like video screens and stuff like that. I remember I this one venue called Rebel. It's near the water in Toronto. Lovely venue. There were big screens for when like Dayseeker was touring and coming around. That was sick. And I love it when bands do immersive things, which is why I'm so excited for the Pretty Wylde to tour.
Yes.
Just based on what you told us, Jules.
Yeah, we're very hyped to unveil it.
Now, one last question for Deadlands. You guys are currently writing your album based on the 7 Deadly Sins. What made you decide on that theme specifically? And my second question is Kundalini going to be on that album? If you can't say, it's okay, but...
Oh, hell yeah, it will. That's Envy. It's one of the 7 Deadly Sins, you know?
Oh, I'm so excited.
How the fuck did we come across... Originally, House of Cards was, like, we were planning, like, a poker... Ooh. I have no idea why. I don't even play poker. And, like, that's why like in House of Cards, there's over like 30 poker terms in it.
Yeah.
So I don't even remember how the fuck we stumbled upon 7 Deadly Sins.
It was one of those random Kasey calls of like, you know, because we both have insane ADHD, and Kasey's like the impulse queen, and was literally like, DJ, hold on, you need to hear me out. What if we did? And I'm like, oh, here we fucking go. Like, yeah, Kasey, sure, let's do it. But like, no, she explained it, and I was like, that's honestly really fucking sick, because I love like the tarot card motif. I love Seven Deadly Sins. Like it's such like a spooky but biblical, like, I don't know. There's also like tons of shit alluding to like the rapture and tribulation. Oh, it's fucking lit. A little spoiler, but there may be a deluxe of this record that we'll see. You know, I don't want to. I'm just dropping hints, but yeah, it's definitely.
Oh my god.
It's a world. It's its own universe, and I think it'll also be a really good segue into the next world that we create.
Oh yes, it will.
I love that. I like that your albums are having these sort of themes. I'm a sucker for concept albums, but even albums with just like this overarching theme that allows you to explore so many different aspects within the theme. Perfect. It's a lot better than, I don't know. This is not to throw shade on anyone who does this, but like the albums that are just a bunch of songs pieced together.
Yeah.
Again, not to throw shade, but I think that themes are very nice.
Bow, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Tighten it up.
Exactly. So that was awesome. Great discussion with both of you guys for both of your individual projects. And now I want to come back because I have some more like fun, lighthearted questions for the both of you.
All right.
What are some?
Oh, yeah. We had another interview at 8:30. Do you think we can make these questions like a speed round?
Yes. Okay. So, what would your dream tour lineup be, or what tour would you love to be a part of?
Oh, Motionless in White, Spirit Box, Pretty Wylde, Make Them Suffer.
Wait, did you say? So I thought you said. Didn't you say 3?
Oh, you said 3?
I said just your dream tour lineup.
Oh, okay. I thought she said 3.
Yeah, I was like,
what about you, Jules? Or CJ and then Jules, whatever.
Yeah, you go first, CJ.
Are you sure? All right. I would say Bring Me the Horizon, Bad Omens, Dayseeker.
So like that tour that they already had, except without Make Them Suffer, just add Bring Me the Horizon.
Oh yeah, I was like, if Bring Me the Horizon was in that lineup, that is such a different story. But yeah, no, they weren't on that. Thank God. Because if I would have missed that tour,
oh no,
I'd be. But yeah, I would say that's like my dream lineup right there.
Awesome.
I love that.
And Nothing Nowhere lit in there somewhere because I love Nothing Nowhere.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, we need to do some kind of tour at the very least after Kundalini's been out. You know. We're going to be overdue for that. So obviously Deadlands, Bring Me the Horizon, we're huge fans of them. I'd say Falling in Reverse is another one that we're huge fans, the big game changers in the metalcore, scene. And then everyone's got to do this, but August Burns Red, huge fan of August Burns Red.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm very envious, pun intended here, with doing that really sick Christmas show with them.
Dude, it was
I saw the photos from that.
What that means is you have to be on there this year.
Yes. There we go.
We'll make it happen.
Love that.
All right. Who would outlive who in a zombie apocalypse?
Kasey outlives every other. Kasey will be the last human left.
I've been hoping.
There's no one more doomsday prepped that I've ever known besides Kasey Karlsen.
I just crave violence, okay?
She does. She really does. She's a maniac.
Jules, how long do you think you could survive in one?
I would say at least until the radioactive fallout gets me.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't last. We wouldn't last in a bunker very long. We'd probably get bored and just want to go explore. So then we'd probably die from exposure. Yeah.
I could picture Jill just running on top of zombies' heads, just ninja-ing out, just be like, poof, poof, poof.
Yeah. We're not the hunker down type. We definitely would go I don't even know what the hell we do, but it would be an outlandish time until we inevitably succumbed.
All right. Since we're trying to make this a little bit quicker, what is your guilty pleasure song? To all of you. I'm so curious to hear this.
303, Don't trust me.
I love that.
Yes.
This is not guilty at all. Disease by Lady Gaga.
Oh, stop.
Okay. Slay.
Yeah. Fucking
All
love
right,
that song.
Jules.
I don't know. I'm trying to. I have this like very odd side of like music. You know, like I'm not gonna lie to you. I did go to a Nickelback concert last year.
Let's go.
Slapped. I'll dabble with some Nickelback, some Seether.
Nice, bro.
I wish because it's a speed round, I'm not going to do it, but I wish I could like scroll through here because there's some wild card picks you probably wouldn't expect to find on my playlist.
Nice.
I love that. Nickelback, another Canadian band that I very recently found out was Canadian. Yep, yeah, they're Canadian. There are so many bands that are Canadian.
Documentary on them. You'll see. Those guys, mad respect for all the work that they've done, and touring Canada is no easy feat. It's so spread out.
Yeah, dude.
Very hard
it's so weird. Yeah. There's so many bands that are Canadian though. It's crazy. Like Sum 41, Spirit Box, Nickelback. I literally just talked to some of my friends about it, like in our publication today. To wrap things up, one more question. Do you guys have a message you would like to share with your fans? Any one of you guys can go first.
Jill's not here. Jules.
We really appreciate everything that our fans have done to help us get this kind of exposure and to help our music get out there. And we really hope that we get to return all of the favors that fans have done by streaming our music and by liking our posts and sharing them, and that we want to return that favor when we get to perform for you guys live and come out and see us. We won't disappoint you.
I love that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I think on our end, ditto the message. I think we're just so beyond grateful and excited for what the future holds. And, if the music isn't hitting as hard as, people thought it would, we just hope the message hits 10 times harder. I hope that people will really digest this next record and self-reflect on themselves, because that was kind of the purpose of this EP, to really like look inward against yourself. I know CJ and I were doing a lot of looking inward ourselves when we were writing these tracks, and I just hope that I hope the music resonate enough, then I hope the message does. And we fucking love our fans. We love you guys, and we hope to catch you out on tour, and we're so fucking thankful for you and everything that you've done as always.
Yeah, I really hope our fans are just as inspired as we were, writing this when they hear it, because there's so much word painting in here that, it can't be left unseen. So, yeah, I'm super excited for what's to come and super proud of everyone around me.
That's amazing. You guys are both incredible artists, and I'm so excited to see what the future holds for both of you guys. And hopefully it's a co-headliner. That's all I'm saying.
Let's hope.
So thank you so much to Kasey and CJ of Deadlands and Jules from the Pretty Wylde. Be sure to stream Villain and House of Cards by Deadlands and Button Eyes by the Pretty Wylde, and of course their amazing heavy collab track Kundalini on all streaming platforms. Thank you guys so much. It was a pleasure to speak to both of you.
Thank you so much.
And Emily will pop into Sander.
Hello.
Hi, thank you so much. Jules, thank you for fucking joining us on this. We love you.
Yeah, thank you, Jules, for coming in.
Yeah.
And say hello to Jill for us.
I shall. I'll see her soon.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna run to our next interview, but thank you guys. Love y'all.
Love y'all. Have a good day, guys.
Bye,
Thank you.